Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Eastern Kentucky communities give back to the families of the officers who lost their lives because of a shooting in Floyd County. And people come together to honor those officers during a special vigil held by a local business.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Tuesday and it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you for waking up with us. Well, we have a lot of news to get to this morning. Let's take it over to Brandon this morning. Brandon, good morning to you. It is a severe weather alert day, so I'll let you kick it off.
Yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about this morning, but right now everything is still fairly quiet. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. Not a whole lot of action as we start the day. We did have some rain kind of in pockets in the overnight hours, but I do believe as we get deeper into the day, we'll see those rain chances pick up. Our primary problem this morning is fog. 2 miles at Ashland, down to 3/10 of a mile actually there at Harlan, 2.5 at Jacksboro, and just above the threshold of 5 there at the London Corporate Airport. So be careful out there this morning. I drove through some on my way into work. So be careful. Just give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going back to work. For a lot of folks today, still 75, Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and Jackson this morning. A lot of 70s out there. Only a couple of 60s, 68 in Wise and 65 in Clintwood. It is a mild and muggy morning out there, and you can tell it by the dew points. Above 70 right now in many areas except for Wise, but still, again, a very muggy start to the day. Breakfast forecast, we are going to see a mix of sun and clouds for a little while this morning, and then temperatures jump up quickly. I do believe we get close to 90 before the rain settles in, and that will be later this afternoon going into the evening hours. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. New this morning, at least one person is dead following an officer-involved shooting in Martin County. The Martin County coroner is on the scene of the shooting. It happened off New Route 3 on Sand Lick Road in the Davila community. Now, we are told it happened sometime overnight. We have a reporter on the scene, and we'll update this story as we learn more. And of course, we'll keep you updated. Law enforcement agencies from across the state and region are uniting to provide police in Floyd County with the necessary equipment following Thursday night's tragic shooting. Our Chandler Wilcox details how that support has impacted the community.
Overwhelming amounts of damage turned into a gaining surplus.
The overwhelming amount of support is just humbling, I tell you that.
Support felt from all across the region.
Our surrounding counties just were unbelievable. The sheriffs were and other police agencies, Pikeville Police, Paintsville Police, Johnson County Sheriff, Knott County Sheriff, and they did our work for us while we were, taking care of what was happening.
Surrounding police forces stepped in immediately Thursday night and continue to show up now. Floyd County Sheriff's Office lost 7 vehicles after the shooting, and Hunt says they will at most get 2 back. Now, the names of Jefferson, Washington, and more can be seen roaming the streets of Floyd County.
Sheriffs from Jefferson County sent me 3 cars. Other sheriffs have called and said, we've got cars ready. When you need cars, we got you 1 or 2.
It is a part of a motto that police have, helping each other out in hard times.
If we have it and you need it, you got it.
And that is because when one goes down, all fall with them.
It leaves a void, and when you hear 2 or 3 deputies at one time.
Funeral processions for the 3 fallen officers and K-9 Officer Drago will all be held this week. In Floyd County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Sheriff Hunt says he hopes to create legislation that would allow sheriff departments from across the area to immediately work in their county without having to give permission. Well, Eastern Kentucky communities are giving back to the families of the fallen officers who died last week in the Allen community of Floyd County. City of Hazard officials collected money during 4th of July activities yesterday in downtown. At last check, at least $4,000 was raised. They're wanting to help any way they can.
My son's a policeman. I've been a policeman a long time. I've got other family members as police officers, and it's just, it's heartbroken, and people just don't know what we go through every day.
Well, the city manager says the VFW post in Hazard donated $1,000 and people dropped off money in buckets to donate. Rudy's Bakery here in Hazard held a prayer vigil for the officers who died in the Allen shooting. Law enforcement in the Perry County area, along with locals gathered to show unity following the tragic shooting. The Perry County Sheriff's Department has sent officers out to patrol in Floyd County to fill in for those grieving. Sheriff Joe Ingles says they are all one big family.
we're just kind of all one big community back here. We train together, we go to school together. These guys, we kind of intertwine as communities, and they're all of our brothers.
Hazard Mayor Happy Mabolini said the city raised about $4,500 yesterday for the victims' families. Well, in respect to the victims of the shooting, the Martin City Police Department took to Facebook to ask community members not to shoot any fireworks within city limits or near the Nelson Frazier Funeral Home. Now, in the Facebook post, the department officials said, quote, Dear City of Martin, we would like to ask that out of respect for our fallen brothers that you refrain from shooting any fireworks within city limits or anywhere near the Nelson Frazier Funeral Home that would be just outside of the city limits. We thank you in advance and would ask that you continue to pray for everyone involved in this incident, especially the families of those that paid the ultimate sacrifice, end quote. Well, after canceling its fireworks show for last night, the city of Pikeville has rescheduled the show for Friday. That show will begin at 9:45 at night. Monday night's event was canceled to pay respect to the officers killed during the shooting in Allen. Well, beginning at sunrise this morning to sunset on Thursday, flags across the Commonwealth will be lowered to have staff at state government buildings. Governor Andy Beshear has ordered all flags to be lowered to have staff in honor of the fallen Floyd County officers. The governor encourages all individuals, businesses, organizations, and government agencies to join in this tribute. The Hazard Lions Club honored Independence Day by putting up flags around the town. Club members headed out early Monday morning to place flags around different parts of the city. The club secretary, Cindy Francis, tells us the club had 4 vehicles going around the town, putting up more than 200 flags altogether. She says the tradition started 50 years ago.
We do it for the community, because if people hadn't fought for our freedom, we wouldn't be able to do it.
The Lions Club plans to put up American flags around Hazard again on Labor Day. The club puts up flags 6 times a year. Well, thank you so much for getting your Tuesday morning started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. When we come back, President Joe Biden prepares to give one of the greatest honors to a group of veterans who fought in Vietnam.
We are tracking the threat for some severe weather as we head deeper into the daytime hours today. I'll have the latest on what we could see and when in about 3 minutes.